Sometimes anime fans must shake their heads in disappointment at their beloved choice in media. And this is one of those times. Cat Planet Cuties. When I first saw this on iTunes, I thought, this looks okay, it has good reviews. It's just $30 for 13 25-minute episodes. What do I have to lose? Turns out I had $30 to lose. Based on the light novel and manga Asobi ni Ikuyo by Okina Kamino, Cat Planet Cuties fails to deliver a storyline and instead focuses on idiotic aliens and its own fractured logic. And by fractured logic, I mean something that a crazy cat lady on LSD would dream up. It begins in modern-day Osaka with a news report saying that the Earth has received a message from space saying, "I'm going to drop by." Just announcing that publicly won't cause any kind of mass hysteria, will it? Anyway, our main victim character, Kyo, is returning from a beer run for his uncle's fiesta. The uncle offers his nephew some of it, but he says he's underage. Then how'd he buy it? Kyo is then introduced to a cat girl that crashed a party named Aries. After he accidentally takes a swig of beer and passes out, he wakes up in his bed to find that he is not alone. Apparently cat girls like to take advantage of unconscious teenagers. I can see why they're popular. Yeah. Remember kids, if you drink while underage, you will pass out and well-endowed catwomen will sleep with you. Hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm still hopeful. Before Kyo has time to let the fact that he unknowingly slept with a furry from Playboy sink in, his neighbor and childhood friend Monami arrives, whose first question is if he had sex with that woman he came home with last night. Kyo tries to deny her accusations of what is none of her business, but poor timing by Miss Kitty Kitty Bang Bang makes that impossible. And Kyo's teacher, named Miss Itokasu, suddenly arrives and is abhorred to hear that a teenage boy might have slept with a girl. Truly, these are the end times. After she puts her S&M spacesuit back on, Aries explains that she is an alien on a first contact mission to Earth. Unsurprisingly, no one believes her, so she proves it by showing them her computer hologram, which looks like the android mascot in a Furby sinned against nature.
Emergency, Miss Aries! It appears the ship has been discovered!
Oh, and its voice is so cute that my first impulse is to kill it. The Beanie Baby Abomination informs Aries that her ship has been discovered on national television and that her cover has been blown.
The cat's out of the bag.
Oh, you were hiding yourself so well. Upon seeing this, both girls do what I should have done at this point. Leave. But because I didn't, I got to hear this.
My people actually refer to our home planet as Earth and call ourselves Earthlings. We knew that would be confusing once we made contact with your world, so we now refer to our planet as Katia.
While that is going on, Monami is spying on Aries for the CIA as an agent in training. Oh, and it turns out Miss Itokazu is working for a secret society, but this one is funded by the HAL 9000. She is unhappy with Aries being mankind's first contact. Don't blame her, really. So she and her MMO friends vow to eliminate her so that humanity's first contact can be beautiful.
We'll achieve beautiful contact.
We will achieve beautiful contact. We will achieve beautiful contact. We will achieve.
Excuse me, I need to go lock my door. Back to Kyo, who left Aries at home all alone to go shopping. Sure, leave the incompetent alien spy to her own devices. Wise choice, Nimrod. While on his way there, he runs into his friend Aoi. Okay, how long till these two get together? Let's just get this over with. I secretly love you, but don't have the nerve to say anything. I am unaware of your feelings, yada yada yada. Aoi's ride shows up out of nowhere, and guess what? She works for an undercover group too! Is Kyo secretly Jason Bourne or something? After Aoi brings traffic to a life-endangering halt by firing a handgun through the windshield just to shut the jackass driver up, she receives her next assassination target, Aries and Kyo. Dun dun dun! Meanwhile...
We will achieve beautiful contact.
Oh, Lord Johnson, just go back to one of the other girls. Aries and Kyo are engaged in more exposing... Okay, Aries found Kyo's girly magazines and assumed they were cultural guides. A humanoid alien that can fly a spaceship thousands of light years can't recognize smut when she sees it?
I don't have any reproductive act experience yet.
The next morning, Aries has planted robots called assistroids, who I'm sure aren't in the show only to promote the sales and production of certain toys in any way at all. So Aries, Kyo, and like 20 of these little product placements go on a walk around a heavily populated city in order to gather intelligence about Earth by reading books at the library. What, was the internet too convenient? All the while they are being followed by Monami in what in her mind must be the perfect disguise. And Aoi, who is dressed as a cross between a Gantz warrior and Samasaran. As night falls, they are attacked by...
We will achieve beautiful contact.
Enough already! After a subpar vaudeville routine, Aoi jumps in to save Kyo and kill Aries, but backs out of her mission after hearing Kyo's pleas. You were this close to ending all this! What kind of assassin are you? Monami's CIA contact knocks out Aries and Kyo, and one flash grenade cop-out later finds Kyo in his uncle's jeep. The uncle explains that Aries was kidnapped before he could get to her. Thus, Kyo calls Monami, who recognized her by her damaged, brightly colored watch, and demands that she tell him where she took Aries. Is the intelligence agency in the States really that sloppy? She's a trainee, but still wearing recognizable jewelry on a covert mission involving her close friends who could easily identify her? What an idiot! After just 30 seconds, Kyo convinces her to divulge Aries' location at the US Air Base. Kyo and his uncle then track down and then blackmail the beautiful contact nuts into helping them rescue Aries, and they manage to sneak onto the airbase because...
Most of the guys on base are Trekkies, so when Star Trek's on, they don't pay as much attention.
No, you idiot! It's the Navy that are the Trekkies, and the Air Force watches Battlestar Galactica. Deep inside the base, Aries discovers that the reason for her kidnapping is because the Earth's government has made an illegal, made so by galactic treaty that the Earth is not a part of, secret alliance with another race called the...
Gargantuans.
Anyway, Aries reveals that her suit is actually a power suit, escapes Fifth Element style, and proceeds to knock everyone out off screen. She and Kyo then join up with the rest of our heroes who have been exchanging fire with the military and wait for a helicopter rescue by the Happy Meal squad, who are immediately shot down by a regiment of tanks bearing down on the group. Aries, however, says that she'll save everyone with the help of the inexplicably undamaged asteroids by vaporizing the inorganic matter in and around the tanks using antimatter squeak mallets, leaving the soldiers that were in the tanks completely naked. Someone had better been high when they wrote that, because it's the only answer I'll accept. This, of course, saves the day and allows Kyo and the others to go home, and the incident was completely covered up by the government. Oh, and a giant spaceship is now hovering over Tokyo.
Motherships on Earth.
Two more Catgirls show up, announcing that the reason for this is because Aries' description of the Earth's food she had sent were so good that the entire crew had to try it for themselves and establish formal relations with Earth. By wearing high school swimsuits to a diplomatic meeting. Also, they've turned Kyo's house into the Cadian embassy, forgiven the kidnapping of Aries by hostile forces, and have granted Aoi and Monami asylum to protect them from their government agencies who are now hunting them.
And if someone tried to harm anyone inside these walls, it would be the equivalent of an unprovoked attack on a foreign nation.
Alright, if they want to play the legal card, I have several issues I'd like to mention. If they want to establish formal relations with Earth, why did they go to the Japanese government instead of going to the United Nations? I think the rest of the human species would like to vote on granting extraterrestrial races and governments entrance into the Earth's airspace, let alone a land-based embassy.
It would be a huge incident which might even lead to war.
Earlier you forgave the fact that Aries was kidnapped and almost killed. On top of that, Aries landed on Earth without any permission of any Earth government. That is illegal entry into a country. Yes, she was abducted, but she was also setting foot on foreign territory without a permit. So she was technically a criminal from the beginning. You are also giving asylum to two Japanese citizens who are guilty of treason, assault, breaking into a foreign military base, divulging classified information to civilians, disobeying direct orders, abduction, firing live ammunition on foreign military personnel and most likely killing them, i.e. murder, a crime that Japanese law in many cases imposes the death penalty, Japanese Criminal Code Article 199, and committed them both on Japanese and United States soil. Great way to start international relations!
Our laws can protect you.
Until they leave the embassy and are immediately shot by a Black Ops squad or arrested for entering a territory where they've committed international crimes to citizens. Insert Snowden joke here. That night in a bath, Monami and Aoi are discussing if Kyo likes Aoi, who reveals that she was born with mutant teleporting powers and gives the X-Men spiel about being shunned by her family and friends as a child. When the intruder alarm goes off, they immediately grab their guns and leave the safety of the embassy butt naked on a motorcycle, adding public indecency to their list of offenses. The intruder gets away, and when Kyo arrives to check on the girls, Monami immediately opens fires on him, calling him a pervert. I guess we can also put trying to kill an unarmed civilian on a rap sheet. Thus far, I don't have any emotional investment in this character. I wonder why. The next day, Kyo awakens to... Great, she found the cat powder. Actually, according to the Cadian doctor, this is also a result of Aries being close to her first mating season.
It's a common occurrence amongst our race. Once one reaches their 16th cycle, they begin to go into heat and start to have regular seasons of fertility.
It is the Pon Far.
And she has chosen Kyo as her first mate.
On this planet, it's illegal to have sex with somebody underage like him.
Ah, but you forget. This house is the provisional Cadian embassy, so Earth law doesn't apply inside it.
Moving on. Aries is sent to Tokyo on a reconnaissance mission with Kyo, Aoi, and Monami to learn about Earth's culture. In a giant mall, filled with anime and manga paraphernalia. One shopping montage and a soap opera scene later, everyone is at the train station and depressed because they've spent all of their money on stuff they didn't need. My life in a nutshell. All is not well though, as Aoi notices that the train station is deserted on a busy day and says it's a trap.
They're using Taoist wizardry or Western style. There's a magician at work, and they've cast a spell to keep everyone but us away from here.
Magic? Just out of nowhere without any setup or explanation of how she knows it's magic and what kind?
It's magic. I don't have to explain it.
Fine, whatever! Aoi stayed at the station while the others went on the train. I don't know why. Monami, however, discovers that the train that they are on is also a trap because it doesn't have any advertisements on it. As we all know that places without advertisements simply don't exist. Gas then immediately pours out through the vents and they are attacked by shotgun-wielding French maids, of course, who take Aries and Kyo and separate the train's cars. We see that our two main characters have been taken to a fancy bedroom and that their kidnappers are...
Brethren, behold the sacred catnap of the divine embodiment.
A cult of fanatic cat worshippers. The scariest part is that this might actually exist. So the underside of the kitten's paw, yes, that is what they call themselves, plan to have Aries lead them to humanity's future. What am I watching? The room that they are in is on a cruise ship owned by the rich blonde girl who runs the cat cult, who is in an assistoid costume. The one-eyed general maid explains to Aries that she is their messiah. Good! Crucify her, get it over with. On top of that, Aries' power suit has been deactivated due to her being in heat. Monami and Aoi, who still haven't been shot for being outside the embassy, have found out where Aries and Kyo have been taken and are trying to appropriate a high-speed boat to catch the cruise ship, but are told that the only one suited to the job is being used as a movie set piece. Or you could contact the other Cadians and tell them that Aries has been kidnapped, again, and use their...
Unfortunately, we can't officially send in Cadian forces. We still haven't formalized our treaty with your planet yet.
Oh, but you can send in advanced scouts to gather information and just enter our airspace without permission. If you want to do this by the book, then contact the Japanese government, inform them of the existence of a violent extremist group, then tell them that a Japanese miner and one of your operatives has been kidnapped by them, and ask for assistance or permission to recover them. If you're worried about a treaty, there's an underage citizen of Japan involved. I think that would get their attention. Instead, you're sending in two people who are wanted by both the CIA and the Japanese Immigration Bureau as a black ops squad. I'm sure that'll win you points with our government. Anyway, the two break onto the movie set to steal the boat and are caught by the movie's director.
Oh, you sure do have your character down pat. I should have known you would find the right girls.
Whoa, whoa! Talk about your frightening stereotypes. Check this out. The director mistakes the two for actresses and tells them to get into their costumes. The director doesn't know who his actresses are. The next day, they put on their costumes as the director asked, and they are bikinis that cover, well, nothing really, and they steal the boat anyway, making both their waiting until the next day and the costume change entirely pointless. Why'd they wait till morning? They could just knocked him out and taken the boat anyway. Oh, but that would mean being rational, of course. Monami and Aoi then speed off to save Kyo and Ares. The Cat Cult cruise ship detects their approach and transforms into a battleship. Apparently it was designed by an alchemist. After a bikini-clad action scene that would make Michael Bay proud, Charlie's Angels enter the ship by vaporizing a hole in it that does not cause the heavy metal ship to sink. Physics, thine enemy is anime. However, Ares and Kyo swap clothes and they can now escape with Kyo using the power suit. Aoi is now in her Sama suit. Because. And in the orange and red engine room. Seriously, how do you not think Metroid here? She is attacked by Dark Samus. Okay, it's actually the Dog-Ishwan leader who explains that the Dog-Ishwans built the suits the two are wearing, and that because she is a Dog-Ishwan, the suit will not attack her, leaving Aoi defenseless. Aoi, however, manages to ricochet a bullet into the back of Dark Samus' neck, which deactivates her suit, forcing her to discard it. So the Dog-Ishwans are related to the Santarans. Aoi then gets blown up by Dark Samus. Monami reunites with Ares and Kyo, and they confront the rich girl leader and her right-hand maid while giving a speech about how lonely people need more than possessions and how friends are more important. She lets them go, of course. Kyo saves Aoi from the engine room, and they all escape safe and sound, with Aoi realizing she truly loves Kyo. The story feels like it was written to be bad. The premise uses minced logic that leaves the viewer scratching their head and wondering what the writer was on when she thought of it. Of all the alien races I've seen in fiction, the Catians are by far the weirdest. They found out that both the new planet and people they want to contact the same name as theirs, and just changed the name of their own planet and people so that it won't be confusing for them. Seriously, while I was in there, it wasn't funny, it wasn't even mentioned again in the entire series. And they just send a random message to Earth that says, I'm going to drop by, as if that's supposed to inform the human race that an extraterrestrial species has contacted them and is sending representatives to their planet. They barge in on Earth, set up camp, and tell us we're in the wrong? What the hell? And Aoi and Monami just confuse me. They're supposed to be these badass secret agents, yet when they betray their governments, they keep leaving the embassy that's supposed to be their only protection against them in broad daylight. There would have been a Black Ops squad watching the house, waiting for them to leave, and they'd be shot or captured as soon as they did. And Ares, Lord, I thought Mahoshi from Tenchi Muyo was ditzy. This girl announces to a group of humans that she's from another planet, shares a bed with one of them, and tells them about her world's people and their mission, and only thinks that her cover is blown when her spaceship is discovered on TV. She tries arbitrarily to seduce Kyo and announces that she's going to have sex with him, a minor, and believe me, the worst of that implication is yet to come. And yet there is an entire cult devoted to her. That makes me question our progress as a species. I'm hoping that dog aliens will show some actual intelligence, as they are only faction that has shown any competence by watching and trying to subvert the Catians from behind the scenes, and they were barely in these episodes. Did I mention we're only in the first 5 episodes? God, I'm gonna play some Nintendo. I can't believe that. Hey, Mega Man! Son of a...
Look at me, I'm a kitty cat. I wear a bowl of peanuts for a hat. If I eat them all, I will get fat. Blah, 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 I'm a kitty cat.